Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. Today is going to be a very, very, very busy, crazy day. I'm actually going down to see one of you guys, Aaron, who's a truck driver. Has a bunch of Cowboys paraphernalia that he wants to give to me to be able to give away to you guys. This is one of the things that's really, really cool. In fact, I've got, and I'll bring it with me, I'm going to be going back to Waynesboro today. But I got a package from Help Miranda and her hubby for my birthday. I've got to open up. I've got some potato skins that I've got to try out and so on. And I've been going back and forth, and just like it's just been crazy, between being in my man cave and being down there at the Red Brick House and doing stuff with that. So this bye week is a good chance to kind of catch up on some stuff. Got my elbow taken care of, and now I got to get back and get this roof covered before we start getting rain. Anyway, be that as it may, this is the Dallas Cowboys bye week, and damn if this does not seem like it's crazier than our regular week. We've got Jerry Jones seemingly feeling the pressure of the weight of the Dallas Cowboys failures. I spoke last night about Jerry Jones has been trying to prove to everybody that it wasn't Jimmy Johnson, that it was him. He wants the credit. He can't stand for somebody else to get the credit for what the Cowboys were. In all reality, Jimmy and Jerry, neither of them would have had those 3 Super Bowls without each other. If Jerry does not buy the Dallas Cowboys and penny pinch on an organization that was losing $2 million a month, Jimmy Johnson doesn't have a chance to be the coach of the Cowboys. And things fell in place for them between, being smart enough to make the Herschel Walker trade where they literally fleeced the Minnesota Vikings and it were able to get better talent. Let's be clear here. They were able to get more and better talent than other people that Jimmy Johnson coached to 2 Super Bowls, and who knows how many it would have been. Jerry, I don't understand how much accolades you need or how much credit you need. When you look at it, you've got a Hall of Fame career. You've got the richest franchise in football by $3 billion. You're making 500 million more. You're worth 500 million more than last year. And yet, you can't release control of the Cowboys. You got your hands in so many different things. Okay, there's so many different things. Grand Prix, World Cups, Mike Tyson fights. And it's kind of like the Cowboys are the side gig. And see, I think of a CEO of a company, right? The CEO of the company very rarely knows how to make the sausage. He doesn't. If you were to take the CEO of most companies and put them in the factory, they'd probably lose an arm and a leg or something, okay? Or the food wouldn't be good. Their job is to put people in places to succeed. See, this is where Jerry doesn't seem to get it. Jerry doesn't understand that by bringing in Jimmy Johnson to do the job, to be Super Bowl champions, that's Jerry. That's him. He's wise enough to put those people in place. Here's the problem, okay? Y'all can say it's the players, you can say it's the coach and things like that. But the thing is to be a Super Bowl contending team with the restrictions of the salary cap, you must be shrewd. You must beg, borrow, and steal your way there. And that's not enough. You have to have the perfect season. You have to have the ball bounce your right way. You've got to have players staying healthy. There's so many things that have to go right for you to even have a chance. And you must amass talent. The Cowboys handicap themselves two ways. They have this belief in this fear of going outside of the Dallas Cowboys and of making a mistake. They would rather make a mistake on their guy, a guy that we believed in, we drafted, and so on. And you can see this by players that they bring back in. Players when they look at free agents, or players that there were players they were interested in drafting. You can look at it when they hire coaches. They were former players of theirs, or they were in their coaching staff before, that they bring those guys back. That's why Mike Zimmer's back. And Mike Zimmer, who admitted he panicked. He panicked in the game against the Lions. Can't have the coach panic. Can't have the panic. I had been told about how Mike Zimmer is this pit bull, that he's this badger, that he blows up and gets angry on the sidelines. Right now, I ain't seen none of that. I ain't seen none of that. But back to Jerry. Because they are in a different era than we can just write a check for a player without any ramifications of salary cap. Now that we have the restrictions of it, they keep screwing the pooch. Let's be clear here. They have no clue. Stephen Jones, out here scouting players. Jerry Jones scouting players and talking about how long their junk is. What the hell is that? And literally waiting until the last minute to pay people. Not understanding that if I pay a guy today, I'm paying him in today's dollars. So it behooves me not to pay the guy next year, which will be in next year's dollars, which will be more. Not understanding how people use the cap to be able to stretch out these payments to amass more talent. The Cowboys are the only team that says crazy things like, we're going to do more with less. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? This isn't like, a factory where you can tell people you're going to work an extra 10 hours and not get paid, and we're going to be more productive. This is football. Your whole idea in saying, well, we got our guy, CeeDee Lamb, signed, and now he's got to have more touches. You want to know what Dak Prescott's the reason why Dak Prescott is turning over the ball more? It's not because he's a garbage quarterback. It's not because he sucks. It's because of situational football. What the Joneses have done, and people can say, you're just a Dak fanboy. The Dallas Cowboys are literally the worst in several categories. Running the football, 3.5 yards a carry. Second worst run production in yardage in the NFL. It takes away the threat of play action. Just literally takes away a third of your playbook. With having one receiver that the Cowboys put out that's feared, CeeDee Lamb, you could double cover him. And if you notice, the Cowboys have the worst separation in football. That means how much space you have between a receiver and a defender. The NFL average is 3.6 yards. We don't have anybody who is even average right now. Our best is like CeeDee Lamb at 2.5. So you've got Dak throwing to inexperienced receivers that aren't open in tight windows. A lot of times in the double coverage. Because again, they don't fear the run. And this goes back to Jerry and Stephen Jones, waiting till the end of training camp to get CeeDee Lamb done so he has to put in the work for the team, with the team, to get on the same page with Dak, and not having another viable weapon. This all goes back to management. It's not Dak. And you can call me a Dak fan, or I'm swinging from Dak's nuts and everything else. That's fine. I don't care. But let's be real here. You can find another quarterback. You can find another head coach. But you give them the same stuff that you're getting right now with Jerry Jones as the GM, it's not going to change. And I'm trying to figure out if I should blame Jerry or blame myself for believing, because all of the warning signs were there. All of the warning signs were there. We knew Zeke was spent. You know why he brought back Zeke? You know why he brought back Zeke? Because he was familiar with him. He knew he could get him cheap. And he knew there was nostalgia of bringing back Zeke. You know how many times last year, when we were kind of struggling, people said, man, I wish we had Zeke. Damn, we need Zeke. Man, I want to bring Zeke back. I want to bring Zeke back. People, after year number 4, typically, most running backs, with the exception of Derrick Henry and Adrian Peterson, who's broke right now, after 4 years, running backs are going downhill. And I don't know what we expected to get from Zeke, being that he's a year older and having gone downhill for the last 3 years. We knew this. We ended up believing that Rico Dowdle, oh man, that's a quality running back in the NFL when he's really a role player. And these patterns are not new. Cowboys screwed up on the running game last year of saying, Tony Pollard, you and Zeke aren't enough. We're going to get rid of Zeke, and Tony, you're going to end up being the guy who's got to run between the tackles. 2, you're going to do Zeke's job and your job. And it hurt. Running up the middle sucked. And it hurt him because he was beat down and couldn't run. You have to use players to their strengths. And if you don't have viable backups that know your system, and again, the Cowboys' philosophy, we can sign a guy after training camp and just plug him in. Goes back to the same problem. Aging veterans, guys past their prime, guys that have been wherever they've been. Oh, don't let me forget, guys that have been out of football for a couple of years. And we put them on the field, and then we expect them to be Super Bowl contenders. So is it Jerry Jones for being stupid to do this and believe it's going to work? Or is it us that's stupid that fall for it every year? That's it in a nutshell. I'll be on the Dan Saleo show, definitely doing the walk of shame today. And it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. I am going to get laughed and joked at terribly today. But it's what I deserve. So, I appreciate you guys listening, and we'll see what madness happens today. They got the owners meeting going on, And Jerry Jones is dealing with the fallout from literally saying he'd get somebody else to ask the questions, threatening to fire his own guys. Well, at least he's got passion about something. Too bad he doesn't have that same passion with what's going on in the team or the GM, the guy who's messing it up. Have a good one, people. Peace out.